So hello everyone. In the last video, I explained you people basic concepts of theory of production. So we did about short run, long run, what is input, what is output, what are fixed factors, what are variable factors. And today we are going to continue with the short run production function. So this was a slide that we saw in the last video as well. So production function can be studied in two various time periods, short run and long run time period. Under the short run, when we study the production function, we call it law of variable proportions. So today we are going to start with this. First of all, production function in the short run. Now, for the sake of simplicity, since we are studying business economics, that is microeconomics, for the sake of simplicity, we assume that we are using only two inputs, right? We are using only two inputs, labor and capital, as I have mentioned over here. Right. So in short run, now I told you short run is that time period where at least one input is fixed. Where at least there is one input which I cannot change, because I do not have time for that, because it is a short run time period, right? So in this production function, I can say output is a function of labor and capital. Here I have written K bar. That means capital is fixed. So that means if I want to increase my output, that can only be increased by changing labor. That means if I increase the labor, then only the output can be increased, because capital I cannot change. I do not have time for that, right? So in the short run, production function is also called one variable input, right? Or it is also called single variable function, because there only one input is variable. Hence the name is given single variable function. This is the short run production function, and we represent it like that. Q is a function of L, comma K bar. That means output depends upon labor and capital, which is fixed, right? So this is the short run production function. Moving on. The short run production analysis I have mentioned earlier also. This is also called by the various names. The first name is law of variable proportions. I will explain the meaning of this name in the upcoming slides. Second, we call it law of returns to variable input. Now this name is easy to understand. Law of returns to variable inputs. That means how the returns are behaving due to one variable input. What kind of returns I am getting because of one variable input. Hence the name has been given law of returns to variable input. Right. The first name, that is called law of variable proportions. This I'm going to explain in the coming slides. Moving on. So here are three concepts that we have to study. The first concept is called total product. Now this is very simple. Total product means the total quantity which we have produced. So let's say I have produced 8 jute bags. Okay, whatever number of inputs and capital I have used, that's not important over here. I have produced 8 bags. So 8 bags is my total product. Okay, the total quantity that we have produced. Second concept we have is marginal product. Now I think we all understand the meaning of the word marginal. Marginal means additional. That means what is the change in the output due to the change in one labor. Because as you know that in short run, output is changing only because of labor, right? So what is the change in the output due to change in one unit of labor? That means delta Q upon delta L, right? And MPL can also be found out by the formula total product at L units of labor minus total product at L minus 1 units of labor. So let me explain you over here. So for example, I employed one labor in the company and he produced 2 baskets for me. My production increased by 2 baskets. So I can say that marginal productivity of this labor is 2, because he has given me 2 baskets, right? So that is the second concept, that is marginal product. Next we have is average product. Now average means what is the average per unit production. So average is simply total product divided by labor. Now there is a difference between average product and marginal product. Let's say I had two people working for me in the organization, 2 laborers, and both of them collectively they have produced 6 baskets for me. So I can say that the average productivity of each labor is 3 baskets. Right, so this is the concept of average product. It is different from marginal product. Marginal means the change in the output due to one more unit of labor. That is marginal. Additional means per unit of labor. Total whatever output I am producing divided by how many labors I have in the company present. So that is my average product. So these are the 3 concepts: total product, marginal product, and average product. All right, now let's understand the law of variable proportions. Now one more name. This law is also called by the name law of diminishing returns. Now we'll also understand this name later on once we understand what the law is. So let's start with the law first. Let's take some examples. Let's say I am in a company that produces baskets, right? And I am using labor and I use a machinery for my production. So all in all, basket is my output. Labor is my variable input because I can change labor very easily. And machinery, because it's a very heavy machinery, so this is my fixed factor. Clear? So we are studying in a short run phenomena. Short run, one factor is fixed, the other is variable, and then there is an output. So we have taken this hypothetical situation. Let's move on. So let's say I have this heavy machinery working. So I employed one person. Now since the machine is very heavy, this one person is working on the machine and he produces some output for me. I realized, okay, the machine is very big. One person cannot work on the entire machinery. So I hired one more person. Now both of them are working good. The machine is getting utilized. It's a very big machinery. I hired one more person. The productivity is going to increase. Of course it is going to increase because the machine is very big. These people are using the machine very nicely. I hired one more person. Now these 4 people are working very nicely on a machine. Machine is also getting utilized. These 4 people are also working very nicely. Productivity is increasing. If I further keep on employing the labor, what will happen is that there will be too much of pressure on the machinery. Right? So many people are not required on this machinery. So my productivity might increase, but not that much. Okay, it might increase very slowly, because these many people are not required to work. Let's say I further hire 2 more people. What will happen? There will be fights. These people will fight with each other. The machine might break down. There will be damages in the machinery. Too many people are working on one machinery. So productivity can go negative also. So all in all, I can observe this kind of a behavior. Let's say when I employed first unit, the output was 3. When I employed second labor, the output increased to 7. When I employed third labor, the output increased to 12. So I can see output is increasing very, very fast. Then with the employment of fourth and fifth labor, the output increased 15, 17, but not that much. And then with the employment of 6th, 7th and 8th labor, I can see the output started falling. 17, 16 and 14, it is falling. Maybe the machine is getting damaged every time. People are not working that efficiently. They are not happy in the organization. Something like that. So this is the common behavior. This is a general phenomena that we observe in the short run. Now let me put that in words. What does the law says? The law of variable proportion states, now read this very carefully. When more and more variable inputs are used over a fixed inputs, when over a fixed inputs we keep on increasing variable inputs, what will happen? Initially the output will increase at an increasing rate. Initially it will increase very, very fast. Then it will increase at a diminishing rate. That means then it will also increase but slowly. And then eventually the output will start falling. Eventually I will start getting negative returns. This is what the law states. The law states that if I have one fixed factor and I keep on increasing variable factors, what will happen? Initially the output will increase at an increasing rate. Then it will increase at a diminishing rate. And then eventually it might start falling. This is what the law of variable proportion states. And that is why the name that has been given, which is called law of diminishing returns. right? Remember that law of variable proportion is also called by the name law of diminishing returns. That means my returns are constantly decreasing as we keep on increasing the labor units. So that's the name given. Now, there are certain basic assumptions to the law. Okay, since again this is microeconomics, to simplify things, we take certain assumptions. So assumptions are: number one, labor is the only variable input, capital is fixed, labor is homogeneous. That means every unit of labor that I employ, they're exactly the same. Their efficiency is the same, their wages are the same. So labor is homogeneous in nature. Technology is given, prices are given, everything else is constant. So these are some basic assumptions that we take for the law. Let's understand that how we represent this law on the graph. So here is a graphical representation of this. This is a schedule that we have. So here you can see the number of workers, 1, 2, 3, 4, because only the labor is changing, so the number of workers are increasing. So here I see total productivity. First you see 24, 72, 138, 216. It is increasing very, very fast. It is increasing at an increasing rate. If I look at the marginal productivity, you see it is increasing. First unit of labor, he increased 24 units. When I employed one more unit, that is second unit, the productivity increased by 48. Then it increased by 66, then 78, then 84. So I can see productivity is increasing at an increasing rate. Later on, when I went to the 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th unit, the productivity is still increasing, but at a diminishing rate. As you can see, now marginal productivity has started falling. Okay, 7th unit of labor brought 78 units of baskets. 8th unit of labor brought 66 units of baskets. So I see it is falling. The productivity is increasing, but slowly. And later on with 11th and 12th unit, I see that marginal productivity has gone negative. My output is falling from 600 to 594 to 552. It is decreasing. So marginal productivity has gone negative. So these are the various stages of production. Initially, when TP increases at an increasing rate, this is called the phase 1. When TP increases at a diminishing rate, this is called phase 2. And when it starts falling, this is called phase 3. This is how we understand various phases of law of variable proportion. Let's plot these things graphically. So here I have a graphical representation. On x-axis we have units of labor and on y-axis we have output. So here I have plotted the numbers for them. First I have plotted the TP curve. So these were the points for the TP curve according to the previous schedule that we have seen. So if I join a line, it's something like this. That's the TP curve. So let's observe this chart first. First of all, it is starting from the origin. As you all can see, it is starting from the origin because when there is 0 units of labor, then the output is also 0. Initially, we saw that it increases at an increasing rate. So you can see the TP line is very steep. Later on, it increases at a diminishing rate. So you can see the line is a little flatter now. And then it starts falling. So you can see it is a negatively sloped line. So this is the shape of a TP curve. Let me draw the MP curve. So these are the points for the AP curve. Okay, this is the average product curve. And here I have the MP curve. This is the green line for the marginal product curve. Let's bifurcate them. So this is the first phase of production. As you can see, TP is increasing very, very fast. As you can see, TP is increasing very, very fast. Marginal productivity is also increasing. So this is my phase 1 of increasing returns. Right. Then phase 2, here I can see TP, now the slope has become a little flatter. That means it is increasing but slowly. Marginal productivity is positive but it is falling. It has not gone negative. It is falling but it is positive. So TP is increasing at a diminishing rate. And then I see the phase 3. Phase 3 I see it is a Diminishing returns. TP has gone down, marginal productivity has gone negative. So this is my phase 3. Right? So average productivity also behaves according to the marginal productivity only. Let me explain you the relationship between average and marginal. Let's take an example. Let's say the average weight of a class is 80 kgs. Okay? Average weight of the class is 80 kg. I bring one more student in the class whose weight is 100 kgs. Right? The average weight of the class was 80 kg. One more student came to the class. His weight is 100 kgs. So the average of the class will go up or it will go down. I think we can easily make it. The average of the class will now go up. Because the additional person that came, he has brought a higher value. So coming on to this concept, when marginal productivity is more than average productivity, when marginal, that is additional, is more than AP, then it pulls AP upwards. So here you can see when marginal, that is the green line, when it lies above AP, AP will go up. Similarly, on the other side, let's say the average of the class was 80. One more student came to the class. His weight is now 60. So I think the average of the class will fall down. So similarly, when marginal is below AP, it will drag AP down. So here you can see the green line is below AP. It will drag AP down. So this is how we understand the relationship between MP and AP. And one more thing to be kept in mind is that MP intersect AP at its maximum point. That's very simple to understand because when MP is above, it drags AP up. When MP goes down, it pulls AP down. So that means it is going to intersect AP at its maximum point. This is the relationship between MP and AP. And one more thing to be kept in mind is that AP will never touch x-axis. Average productivity can never go zero because average productivity is what? Total productivity divided by number of labor. Total productivity divided by number of labor. So when TP is not zero, AP can also not be zero. So AP will never touch x-axis. Right? So this is how we understand the law of variable proportion. The first phase is the increasing returns. When TP increases, MP increases, AP also increases. Second is the diminishing return. TP increases but at a decreasing rate. MP is falling but it is positive. And then we have phase 3 where we have decreasing or negative returns. TP starts falling, MP goes negative. So in this slide, there is the relationship between all the three one. This is a very important slide. Keep this slide in mind. Stage 1, TP increases at an increasing rate. MP increases, it reaches its maximum and starts to decline. And AP increases. Stage 2, TP increases at a diminishing rate and reaches the maximum point. MP, it is falling, it touches zero, it intersects AP in this stage. And AP, it continues to fall. And stage 3, TP starts to decline, MP goes negative, and AP continues to decline. So this is a behavior of TP, MP, and AP in various stages of production. I hope this law of variable proportion is clear to all of you. Moving on, we have is which stage of operation where the firm would like to operate. Whether the firm want to operate in the stage 1, stage 2 or stage 3. So keep this in mind. A rational firm will always operate in the second stage. Now what is the reason? First of all, the firm will not operate in the third stage because third stage where we are getting negative returns, the returns are falling. No firm would like to operate there. In the first stage, the returns are increasing. Right? So a firm will not settle there. Okay, although in the second stage, I know we are getting the returns are diminishing, but still the returns are positive. So till the point the returns are positive, the firm continues to operate. And that happens in the second stage of phase of production. So every rational firm will operate in the second stage. All right. And then last we have, what are the reasons of increasing returns? Why initially do we get increasing returns? Because number one, the fixed factor is being utilized. As we saw in the example, the machine was very, very heavy. Initially 1 unit or 2 units of labor were just not able to use the machine completely. So therefore, in the first stage, when we increase labor, the machine is getting utilized, right? So the utilization is happening. People might get specialization, we might get volume discounts, and we are reaching the optimum combination. Optimum combination is that how many labors are required for one machinery. So we are reaching that combination, right? That is the reason we get increasing returns. Then why do we start getting diminishing returns? What happens in phase 2? The machine is being used beyond its optimum capacity, right? We are putting a pressure on the machinery. The combination is getting disturbed. The variable factors are too many as compared to fixed factors. Okay, the number of variable factors are more. Like as we saw, 6, 7, 8 units of labor were more than required. So that is why the returns started to diminish. And the last is negative returns. Again, the same reasons, because too much of pressure on fixed factors. Too much of pressure on fixed factors. Too many variable factors have brought out the inefficiencies. The machine might break down, there might be damages. So because of these reasons, we might start getting negative returns. Clear? So this was the entire law of variable proportions. This is the production behavior in the short run. And basically why it is happening, because one factor is fixed and we are changing only another factor. Because of that, we observe this kind of behavior in the short run. And this is called law of variable proportions, right? So I hope this is clear to all of you. In the next video, I'm going to explain you production function in the long run. All right. Thank you very much.